this video for Microsoft Access, we are looking at field properties. So the first field property, field size. You can set the maximum amount of characters, the maximum amount of maximum size for a specific field. So say for example, you have a field for cell phone numbers, then you would put the maximum number to 10 because then there'll be 10 characters in that field. You can do the same thing for ID number, etc. Then there's the format property. You format what the data must be displayed like, so the format that must be displayed in. So example, if you want to have a specific date format, then you manually type that into the format property, just like you would do in Excel. Then there's default value. This is the value that is automatically allocated to a field when a new record is added. This is very useful if you know, for example, that in a certain field, most of the records will have the same value. Then you put that as a default value. You can still change it, but if it is in fact the same as the others, then you don't have to change it because it will be there by default. And then there's the required field. If you put required to yes for this property, then that field must be entered for the record to be valid. So this is a required entry for this field, cannot be left blank. So let's look at a few examples. You have a field name, and the field size here is 255, which is way too much for a name. Let's change that to 15, for example. I'm also going to make this a required field. You definitely have to have your first name. If you're shy, then you don't need to give us your surname. Right, then the grade, long integer, no need for that. We can change this to a byte, which is the smallest version of this. Only goes to 55 characters, so that's the smallest version of a number. We can also put a default value here of 8. So we're assuming that new members who join this club, new learners who join this club are in grade 8. So by default, the new record will have 8 displayed there, so I don't have to key it in if they are in fact in grade 8. Let's quickly look at the cell phone number, for example. We know for a fact that we need a field size of 10 because the cell phone number is 10 digits long. And then the birth date, we can put a very specific format. So let's go, for example, the name of the day and then put a comma. We can also have the digit of the day, abbreviation of the month, for example, and then the year. So let's see what that. You see that Access automatically puts in the quotation marks and the forward slashes and backward slashes or whatever. We'll talk about that in another video, but it automatically puts it in if you put in a format here that Access can actually recognize. So okay, right. I'm gonna save, get a few warnings, and then go to the datasheet view. And there you go. There's the new format for the date. Looks good. And if I try to enter a new record, this will be a required field, so I'm going to type that in. I'm going to leave the surname, and there you go. There's the 8 for the grade. Automatically, by default, it's displayed there. And then the cell phone number won't allow me to put in more than 10 characters. And there you go. That's it.